Hello and welcome. I want to take a few minutes and share with you how to get rich flipping businesses, how to buy, build, and sell businesses for monthly cash flow and big paydays. Now before we get going, I have a question. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be in business for yourself, to be an owner of a business instead of an employee? Are you sick and tired of taking orders from the boss? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to travel the world, spend more time with your friends and family while your business is operating and it pretty much pays you to stay away? Buying, building, and selling the businesses can do all of that for you. You're looking for businesses, you can travel the world looking for businesses. When you buy them, you get them operating properly. Keep them for the cash flow. Sell them for the big paydays. Spend time with your friends and family. It's nice, folks. It's a nice way to make a living. Just imagine for a minute what it would feel like to have the freedom to come and go as you please. Go on vacation whenever you want. Travel around the world. What would your life look like? Where would you be? Where can you see yourself? In your mind's eye, can you see yourself right now maybe having a martini in Tahiti on the beach or something? How would your life be different? Now, buying and operating businesses is a lot easier than you may think. And you don't need any fancy schmancy education to do it either. Now, once you buy a business, you can keep it for monthly cash flow, or you can sell it for the big paydays, like I said. And fixing and flipping businesses comes with a lot of big advantages over real estate. I want to share a couple of them with you, 4 or 5 of them. Number one, there's very little competition. No one is buying and selling businesses and flipping. Very few, anyway. Reason being is because the folks that are doing it keep it as a pretty closely guarded secret. They don't want to share the wealth. They don't want to share opportunities and tell the whole world about it and increase the competition. Buying a business is quite easy when it comes to financing too, because about 85% of business owners, when they sell a business, will hold some form of mortgage. They'll hold some type of paper where you can make payments to them. Reason being, I'll get into it in a minute, was because the baby boomers, most business owners, they never put away for their retirement. So when they sell a business, that's how they're going to live. That's their annuity, so to speak. So they're more than willing to hold some type of financing. When you buy a business, you get immediate cash flow. Yeah, that's right. You close on the business. The next day, you have money coming in. It's not like a piece of real estate where you buy it and you have money going out month after month after month until you get it fixed up to sell it or to rent it. It takes you so long to get your investment back. You buy a business, you're making money the next day. Fast turnarounds, too. You can buy a marginal business and turn it around and make it a profitable business in a very short amount of time. I mean, there's only 5 parts of a business. And every business on the planet, every business only has 5 parts. And once you know these parts, you just see which ones are doing good, which ones need some help, focus on the ones that need help, and magically money starts arriving and the business grows. Yeah, it's that simple. It really is. And you control the outcome. You're in charge of your destiny. When you own a business, you're the boss. You're the one in control. Now just imagine what that would be like. And not to mention, the U.S. economy and political system, or whatever you want to call it, is built on business ownership. So you have all sorts of tax advantages when you own a business. That's right, the government gives you tax advantages because they want you to hire people to create jobs. No other investment in the world gives you a return like owning a business. Now I want to share a real quick fact with you, a couple of facts. If you look back in history, all the way up until present day, all of the richest people in the world made their money in business. They may have parked their money in real estate later, but they made it in business. I mean, think about this. J.D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, they all made their money in business. And currently now we have Warren Buffett. He doesn't invest in real estate. He owns real estate, of course, but he buys businesses. Bill Gates started Microsoft. Michael Dell, Dell Computers. These are business people. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the richest guy in the world now, started with business. Now, do they own real estate? Of course they do. They take the money and they park it in real estate for long-term investment. But they made their money in business. And you can too. No other business and no other investment in the world can give you so much control over your destiny and give you the reward as business ownership. Now, the biggest problem that I have found with investing in businesses is there's no real credible information out there. So I put something together. I'll share with you in a little bit. Because like I said, the business owners, the ones that are buying and flipping businesses, they want to keep that information to themselves. And right now, there's not a better time in history to get involved with investing in businesses. I want to share some statistics with you. It's really, really shocking. There are 75 million baby boomers. 77% of them own businesses. Then they're getting ready to sell. So it comes to a $10 trillion market. Yeah, $10 trillion is what the estimates are of private capital going to be changing hands in business sales in the next 5 to 10 years. Shocking numbers. And here's the thing with the baby boomers. The average age right now, as of 2018, baby boomers are between 53 and 71 years old. So the median age is 63. They want to sell. They've been working their whole lives. They want to sell their businesses. Now, out of 12 million privately owned businesses, it's worth, like I said, about $10 trillion that are going to be coming on the market. And 72% of baby boomers don't have an exit plan. So they're going to hold a mortgage as an annuity for their retirement. So you talk about an opportunity, buying a business with owner financing. It's incredible. Now, don't take my word for it. I want to share this. Several studies have been around, and what they say is roughly 70% of all privately held U.S. companies are owned by people 55 years and older, and 76% of them expect to sell, retire, or close within the next 10 years. Now, doing the math, 76% of 12 million businesses is 9,120,000 businesses, okay, that are going to be coming on the market. When you get right down to it, folks, the numbers are staggering and the opportunities are really, really abundant. So you really may want to consider investing in businesses. I mean, it's a huge opportunity. Like I said, one of the most common mistakes business owners make when they get out of what happens with them when they want to get out of the business is they lose interest. Remember I told you there's only 5 pieces of a business? That's one of them. They lose interest. The business loses leadership. And what happens is sales start to fall. The business owner's taking money out of the business and not investing in advertising and marketing, which is one of the other 5. And the business starts to slip. So one of the easiest things to fix in business, buying an existing business. Another reason why a lot of business owners want to sell, and an easy way to change around, is they never kept up with modern technology. They never upgraded their computers. They never got websites. A lot of the folks are still thinking about yellow page ads and things like that. So you buy an existing business that needs a little fixing, that has an existing customer base, is fabulous. I want to share a real quick true story about a guy, Chris. He ended up being a friend of mine now. He came to me. Chris was a banker. He was in the banking business for about 30 years. His bosses he was always moving from bank to bank to bank. His last couple of bosses was younger than he was. They were almost like his kid's age. And he was sick and tired of it. He was fed up. He knew he was going to be downsized. He didn't have much money available. He had $100,000 or so, something like that in his IRA. He came to me looking for business. We found him a home health care company right down the road from him, who the seller wanted to sell because he was 75 years old. He wanted out. He didn't want to do it anymore. So we negotiated a deal, helped Chris put a deal together. The business was doing about $1.2 million in gross sales a year, leaving about $175,000 a year for the owner when Chris bought it. The website was terrible. The only marketing the guy had in the business was yellow page ads. Can you believe it? This is 2016 when he closed on this thing. Yellow page ads. Who reads the yellow page anymore? Long story short, we helped Chris buy the business. Seller took about 35% financing, I think it was. Chris had to put 10% down, obviously, because that's the minimum requirement to buy a business. You have to have some type of skin in the game. And the SBA, Small Business Administration, guaranteed funding for the rest of it. Well, this is what happened with Chris. Within 18 months, it went from $1.2 to $1.9 million in gross sales. He went from making $175,000 a year. Now he's doing about $600,000 a year. And here's the thing. Poor Chris, about 9 months after he bought the business, his wife got sick, terminally ill. And he was able to, because of he owned the business, he was able to spend the last 3 months of his wife's life with her, right by her side. The business operated without him being there. He would call up. The employees took care of things. He went into the business maybe 2 hours, 3 hours a week just to check in. And Chris was able to spend all of the last days with his wife. He couldn't have done that if he was in the banking business. I mean, that's the power of owning a business. You can come and go as you please. And if you have good people there, they run it for you. All you need to do when you buy a business is make a couple of little tweaks. Oh, one more story. I want to tell you about Tony and Janet. Now, I knew Tony for quite a while. Tony and I, we did some real estate deals in the past, but he was a car guy. I mean, he was a car salesman. And in the car business, you're only as good as your last sale. Seriously. And his girlfriend, Janet, she was a mortgage broker. And as a mortgage broker, you're only as good as your last mortgage. I don't need to tell you what happened between 2007 and 2012 with the economic crash. Tony wasn't selling cars and Janet wasn't doing mortgages, so they were having trouble. Tony left New York. He was in New York, he and Janet. He went down to Myrtle Beach. He asked me to help him find a business, so I did. We found him a dumpster company, a roll-off company. This roll-off company is the same thing. It's a couple of old trucks, then big steel containers. They have a job sites. Well, Myrtle Beach happened to business. The real estate market was coming back because it's a tourist-type area. No building houses. So Tony bought this dumpster company. It was doing about $350,000 a year in gross sales. The owner was only making $100,000 a year, but it was enough for Tony. He was happy with that. The website was terrible. There was no marketing involved. Everything was antiquated. So Tony bought the company. He started driving a truck. His girlfriend, Janet, learned about pay-per-click ads. She modified the website, did some pay-per-click ads. Long story short, 2 years later, the business is doing 300% more business than it was before. Tony's bought new trucks. He's hired more people. He doesn't drive anymore. And the only thing that's holding him back from growing the business even more is he's waiting for dumpsters to be delivered. He needs more boxes. He needs more product. Pretty good story, huh? How would you like to have that? Think about that. What would your life be like? How would it be so much better? Now, in order to buy a business, all you need is systems. Okay, you have to have an idea. Like I mentioned before, there's only 5 fundamental elements of every successful business. And there's only the 5 pieces. You just have to know what to look for. It's really, really quite simple. Now, I invite you, if flipping businesses, buying businesses, holding them for monthly cash flow, and selling them for big paydays would be interesting to you, I invite you to visit my website, flipthebusiness.com. There's a bunch of information out there. And by the way, Chris, the guy I was telling you about, the banker, his wife passed, yes. He now wants to put the business up for sale, and he's going to sell it for about $950,000 more than he paid for it. Not a bad way to go, is it? And 2 years he did that. So by the time we get him out of it, he'll be 3 years. $950,000 divided by 3 is not bad, considering he's making a couple $100,000 a year as he's owning the business, right? He's going to make more money in owning that business in 3 or 4 years than he made in banking for a job in 30. And Tony, he told me that maybe in another year or so he wants to double the business again. Once he gets us up to about $3 million in revenue, he'll walk away with a cool $2 million in his pocket. Not bad. You can do that. It's easy to do, folks. It's easier than you think. You just have to know what to look for. You want to buy an existing business, and it's as simple as that. Now again, if you'd like to learn more about how to buy, fix, and flip businesses for monthly cash flow and big paydays, visit my website. I have loads and loads of information up on there for you to learn. And you can contact me if you'd like a private consultation or if you'd like to get together. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.